Without further ado, let's start with our first presentation today. We are honored to have Hamish Ijssel and Tracie Mohr to tell us about the Mining and Exploration Regulation System, in short, MERS project. A quick introduction before they start. So we have two presenters here. Hamish is the project director for the MERS project. He has overseen the development of the business case, procurement, and the delivery of the MERS project phase 1. He's an experienced project professional specializing in the delivery of digital transformation projects. And the second speaker will follow, Tracie. She is the change manager for the MERS project. She is responsible for communication, stakeholder engagement, and training for the MERS users. Tracie has previously worked in the higher education sector, where she specialized in customer experience, customer service, and systems project. Please welcome Hamish and Tracie.
We'll start off, what is MERS? So at its heart, what we're doing is we're replacing the core tenement management system from the department, which has been in place for well over 20 years. What we're looking to do is to introduce a new regulatory platform, digital regulatory platform, to cover everything from exploration and mining, right through from the application process, right through to production, compliance, royalties, and the closure through of mines. The MERS is going to feature a new customer portal where people can go on and lodge their applications and then track and monitor their progress over time, which is going to be integrated through with a back office system where we'll, as a department, will be able to manage those applications from start through to finish. We'll be able to see previous applications, new applications, and so forth. With those applications, what we're looking to do is to introduce a level of automation to those and reduce the amount of manual activity that's required so that we can as efficiently and effectively assess those applications. We're also going to introduce a data and analytics capability, which will enable us to bring together information around the industry and around customers quickly so that we can, again, make decisions more quickly and more effectively. What this means for industry and the key benefits that we're looking at introducing here is one is just a single consolidated platform that is going to house all your applications, all your history, where you can log on and track and monitor the progress of your applications. We're also looking to introduce the ability to be able to manage your accounts, manage your tenements in a central place. We're looking to make the information that is publicly available more readily accessible. So linking our back office systems right through to public-facing websites. But most importantly, what we're trying to do with this project is lean our processes, make them as efficient, as effective as possible so that we can reduce the timeframes that it takes to lodge applications and receive feedback and assessments through on those. So with the MERS project, this kicked off last year. We signed a contract through with DXC Technology in December last year. DXC is a worldwide professional services IT consultancy who's highly experienced in delivering these types of systems through to governments and private sector within Australia but also around the world. With this project, we're looking at implementing on the Microsoft platform. So we're using standard out-of-the-box functionality for implementing our customer portal, our customer relationship management software, so we have a single view of the customer. Also with a business process management solution, as I said earlier, so that we can manage our processes, some of which are quite large, and automate those where we can. In delivering this solution, what we're looking to do and partner with DXC is to build what's called out-of-the-box functionality, customising as little as we can. And the reason we're trying to do that is when new legislation and new policies are introduced, we want to reduce the time frame to implement those changes into our systems. phase one of the project focuses through, as I said, on the replacement of the core solution. We're also looking at implementing the top 22 regulatory processes. The solution itself will look after the full gamut of processes that are currently being managed under the existing system. But what we're looking at doing is introducing that high level of automation through to those top 20 processes such as the ELAs and the MLAs, so that we can really see the reduction of time frames in processing those applications early on. Future phases, which are subject to funding, will look at replacing the other legacy systems within the department, such as our compliance management solution, but also looking at introducing further automation through to our processes. With the project, we've established an industry reference group, which is made up of a cohort of industry stakeholders from small to large, miners and explorers across the different sectors, as well as consultants and lawyers, so that we can get feedback as we work our way through the design and the build of the solution. They're contributing through discussions that we're having around how we build the solution, so that we make good decisions as we're building it, because there's always multiple ways that you can do things. We're giving them the opportunities to see the solution as we build it, so that they can provide feedback on what we're building, not just at the end, so that we can make changes and make this as effective as we can. They'll also be helping us throughout the project in making decisions on how we communicate through to industry, what training we provide, and with the messaging within our rollout. We've met them several times, 3 or 4 times thus far, and we'll continue to do that every 1 to 2 months throughout the course of the project. If you ever want further information around the project, we maintain a web page that's going to have the latest, or does have the latest information through on there, and you'll be able to see that over time, and we're regularly updating that every 3 or 4 weeks. What you see up here now, and I'm not going to read through each of those, is a list of the key applications that we are looking at putting on the portal and having highly automated, highly digital applications that are connected through to back office assessments that will bring the data, capture it at an atomic level, bring it into the system, and then we'll have automated processes in the background. These are the areas that we're looking at targeting, those efficiencies that we can gain from the technology into those processes. So where are we up to now? So we started off in January this year. We worked through a detailed design phase where we looked through the requirements, we looked through the technology, we looked through the approach, that how we were going to build out the solution, which finished in mid-year. We are now about 2/3 of the way through the build of the solution. That will take us through to February, March next year. Then we will go through a detailed testing cycle where we'll internally test it. We'll test it with the integrations through with the other departments and the other key systems such as SOGeodata. We'll look to involve the industry reference group where appropriate in some of the testing. So we're testing the usability through of the solution, and we're looking to roll out the solution towards May next year. I'll hand over to Tracie.
All right, let's get into it. So, should bear in mind that this is still in development. There's test data in here, there's placeholder text, hopefully not any typos, but quite possibly, so bear with us. This is the landing page for MERS. You would access this from the DEM website. This is not meant to be a web page, so there's no pictures, no news articles or whatnot. It's just a simple entry point. You'll see there's an obvious sign-in button there, smack bang in the middle, and users will click into that to log into MERS or to register if they haven't already got an account. From there, you'll land on a dashboard, and as you can see, this is still a work in progress, and this is one of the areas that we've spent a lot of time talking to our industry reference group about, what they'd like to see on a dashboard when they first get in there. Some of the things at the top that we're looking to do is some key snapshots of information. So they'll be either in graphs or little information bubbles, and they could be things like action items by month. It could be number of reports that you've got due in the next 30 days or 60 days, perhaps the number of lodgements that you've got in progress at the moment. So things like that. Underneath there, you can see requests for information and action items. So with talking to industry, they're the things that they want to see really clearly at the top. So requests for information where you've lodged something with the department already and we've asked you for further information. You'll see those sitting there in the due date that they have on them. And the action items will be, as I said, upcoming reports that you've got to lodge with the department. Pretend that you're going to scroll down. I've had to cut this up to get it on a slide. Underneath that, you'll see lodgements. So at the top will be the draft lodgements that you've got in progress at the moment. So you haven't yet submitted these to the department, you're still working on them, so easily able to access them from here. You can also see there's a green button there, and that's where you'll click on that to lodge a new application as well. Underneath that, you can see another heading. So these are all accordion headings that drop down. So you will see your lodgements that you've already submitted, what date you submitted them and what status they're up to. Underneath that, reporting schedule, that will have all the reports that you've got coming up, and then underneath that, a summary of your tenements. The green button that you clicked on earlier to start a new application will land you on a page like this, which will be our lodgements landing page. It'll have all the different applications that you can start from there. There won't be any Latin text there by the time we go live. Pretty easy to navigate, choose the form that you need and click on apply. In this case, it's an EL application that we've decided to click on, so you're greeted with some information at the start that will tell you what you need to know in order to complete that form, the attachments that you'll need and that sort of thing. You can see the navigation down the side, it's pretty straightforward, and a save button at the bottom as well. So at any stage, if you need to save your application and come back to it, you can easily do that, and that'll be available back in that draft lodgements area on your dashboard that I've showed you earlier. From there, once you're into the form, you're providing some basic details at the start, the account, the contact person. That'll default to the person that's logged in, but you will be able to update that if you need to. From there, you'll also move on and select the area that you're looking to apply. We are working on the spatial details at the moment, but there'll be the layers there that you need. You'll be able to draw your own polygon, or if you prefer to, you can upload a shapefile. Once you've done that and you've saved your shape, it's going to return you a table there that will show where you've intersected. So if it's an intersection with a park, could be some restricted area or whatnot, it'll also show you where any of those intersections are going to put special conditions or require referrals out to other departments. And it will also show you the percentage by which you've intersected there as well. So potentially, if it's just a small intersection, you may well want to go back and edit the shape that you had uploaded, if that's your preference. Moving through the application, and obviously when you're doing it won't be quite this quick, but I'm mindful of time. All of the pages look pretty similar. So at the top, you're going to have some a green box with some information about what you need in that section. You've got the ability to drag and drop file attachments in, enter free text. There'll also be plenty of lookup records that you will be able to choose from, details that we've already got loaded into the system, things that will hopefully streamline and make that process of applying a bit quicker for you. Up on the top right there, as I said, the lookup list. So in this example, new client activity, I'll click on the list. It'll present me with lots of options there. Click on those, add a couple of details, save, and move on to the next step. So pretty straightforward, but again, hopefully a little bit quicker for you to fill in. Last but not least, obviously you've worked all the way through the list. You'll have a review screen before you go to payment and submit it. On the review screen, you'll be able to see everything you've submitted, all of the attachments that you've uploaded. You'll have the ability to print that, save it to PDF, and of course your application will also be available in the dashboard at the front if you ever need it as well. And if I've got time, I just wanted to quickly show you one of the DEM screens as well. So the application that you submit through the portal will then land in the back end for the DEM staff, and this is one of our assessment screens. So over on the right-hand side, You'll see the questions that you've been asked, the information that you've supplied is underneath that, and then the DEM staff will be working down the left-hand side, so they'll be reviewing the information provided, answering the questions that they're prompted to, and adding their comments as they go. The other two things I wanted to point out on this page, over on the top right-hand side, you might see the word timeline. That will be a consolidated view of all inbound and outbound communication between the department and the applicant, centralised place that DEM staff will be able to see what's going on with that. And across the top where you can see the blue box and the bar, that's where we're tracking the number of days at any stage. So again, that's feeding into the data and analytics that Hamish mentioned earlier. It allows DEM much better idea of how long things are taking to progress, and it also feeds into your portal at the front end, and you can see how long something's at and what stage it's at as well. So hopefully we've been able to give you an idea of some of the efficiencies that we're trying to create both for the industry but also for DEM. All in all, what we're trying to achieve is a much improved experience for you all, quicker timelines, quicker processing for us, and a better customer experience. Thank you.